a paper to my class, and then I have to go to the store to get lights.
And we're live.
Fuck, man. I just want to stick my thumb Oh, hello, everybody.
Always.
And welcome to an episode of Rankum. It's got an interesting topic today. We've got Christmas TV specials. These aren't just like specials that are filmed for TV. These can also be TV episodes that have had a Christmas themed episode as well. So I mean, I've got a good bunch of equal amount here, but I'm not doing this alone. But I've got Matthew Kearns. Matthew, how's it going?
Hi, everybody. It's me, Misa back. As if I ever left. Was I? Yeah, I was on. No, wait, no, I wasn't on last episode of Rankum. That's right, because I was watching Elseworlds. Boy, I wish I was on Rankum last week. So, yeah. I don't know what to say. You throw me these things. I'm not prepared.
And also we've got here again, Sandy. Sandy, how's it going?
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Rankum episodes. Woo!
Oh, thank God. Because if you said Christmas, I was going to say if there were any Jewish people watching. That's just, you need to say Happy Holidays.
Yeah. No. I say Merry Christmas.
Oh my God. Oh my God. You know, Jesus was a Jew. He'd be offended by that.
Yeah, well, he's got about 1.6 billion Catholics to go after before me, so come on.
That's how this episode.
I'm doing great, Matt. I'm doing great. Malcolm and Matthew, I'm so happy to be here. Let's get this going. It's going to be great.
I almost forgot about
something. So how the show works, we each go on do a roundtable discussion each Friday. TV special we think should go on our list and talk about, and then the other two we go yes or no that it belongs on the list. We all get a save. So basically, if both Sandy and Matt disagree that that Door the Explorer Christmas should get on, doesn't belong on the list. So
why the fuck would I say no to that? Feliz Navidad in here, boots.
I mean, I don't even know if she did a Christmas episode, but what the but anyway, Matt, what is the first pick you're going to bring up?
That would be Door the Explorer, Feliz Navidad. No. The first one I'm bringing up here is, I'm glad I'm bringing this up when a certain Grinch isn't on here, because he would immediately say no. I am bringing up the Rankin Bass classic, Santa Claus is Coming to Town. I just watched this the other night. This remains to be my favorite of the stop motion Christmas episodes. I consider them movies because they're about an hour long, but that's just me. I think that this should be on the list of best Christmas specials because it does something different from a lot of other stuff, which is in regards to Santa, which is it tells the story of him as a young man and how he sort of became Santa. Because most Christmas specials that deals with like, oh, Santa's got problems, he's older, but like this one, it's like, how did he become the man we all know him to? Yeah, and it's great songs, you know, just put one foot in front of the other. And soon you'll be. I could sing all the songs here, but that is my first pick. Is Santa Claus is Coming to
Town. Sandy, what do you say about Santa Claus is Coming to Town?
I absolutely say yes. Matt was 100% right on this one. It is a different take on the Santa Claus is Coming to Town. It's a younger version where he's a young man. He's not fat yet. He's just starting out, learning how to do everything. But it tells a great story all the way through. And you're right. During this whole time in the late 60s, claymation was king. And this was another episode that really knocked it out of the park. You don't even think about it when you're watching it. That's how good it is. So 100% yes for me.
And with that, Santa Claus is Coming to Town makes list. My vote didn't count, but I actually haven't seen it, so it wouldn't matter either
You
way.
need to change that. It is such a great. Again, I could just sit here and sing all the songs. I love it that much.
Anyway, Sandy, what is the next one you're going to bring up?
All right, so the first one that I'm going to bring up might not make it on the list, but I always try to watch this just because it's heartwarming and I really enjoy it. It is 1999's Olive the Other Reindeer. It's a Drew Barrymore voiced Olive, who is a dog but wants to be a reindeer more than anything in the world. It is such a nice, heartwarming story throughout the entire. It's a little bit of a different telling of the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer story, but it hits all those warm chords that you like it to do when you watch it. So my pick for this list would be Olive the Other Reindeer.
And Matt, what do you say about Olive the Other Reindeer?
Wow. I have not heard this in a very long time. The book, along with Grinch and Arthur's Christmas, we're talking about not Arthur's Christmas from a couple years ago. I'm talking about the Aardvark. Arthur the Aardvark's Christmas was my favorite book to read around this time of year. And the special was always on Cartoon Network. It was it would usually, lucky for me, it would come on after the Codename Kids Next Door Christmas episode. It's difficult to say yes just because I haven't seen it in so long. I'm not sure. I don't want to put it on there just for nostalgia, but I do remember loving this special, but just since I haven't seen it, I can't really give a definitive yes. But I know this was the first time Ed Asner played Santa. I know he played Santa in this special before Elf. But so my 5-year-old self says yes, but my 21-year-old self has to say no, just based on the fact I haven't seen it in a while.
I don't remember actually seeing this at all, so my vote wouldn't count anyway. So sadly, it doesn't make it on unless Sandy wants to save it.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I want to say yes, but it's just I haven't seen it in a while, and on a top 12, I'm not sure if it would make a top 12 list for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
I remember the monkeys giving her the idea for the filer. The monkeys send her the filer in the mail. I remember that. I remember things about this. Now that you're saying it, I'm like, oh my god, I remember so many things.
But anyway, it's back to me. And the first one I'm going to throw out there is Blackadder's Christmas Carol. This is I rewatched this just recently, and it still holds up. It's entertaining. It pretty much uses past versions of Blackadder because you've only got one ghost that sends Blackadder to different parts. And the ghost is Robbie Coltrane playing Hagrid before he was cast as Hagrid, but it's one that I always find entertaining. It's one of the most unique takes on the Christmas Carol story. Sandy, what do you say about Blackadder's Christmas Carol?
I've never seen it. So unfortunately, it sounds great. Definitely wrote it down when you were talking about it, so I'm going to go and check it out. But for that reason, the fact that I haven't seen it only is why I would say no.
That's fair. Matt, what do you say about Blackadder's Christmas Carol?
I have seen only a few bits and pieces of this because this was on Nostalgia Critics. I think it was his second Christmas specials list. But I've never seen the show Blackadder. I've never seen this episode. The only thing I know about this is again from Doug Walker's list. So sorry, I have to say no.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
save my. I'm gonna save my save for now.
There we go.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like, I'm gonna save it. I was like, okay.
No, I mean, I would, but it's probably not going to help its case if you haven't seen it. So, Matt, what's the next one you're going to bring up?
The next one I'm gonna bring up is probably my favorite Christmas special TV show episode. It is from Growing Pains. The episode title is A Christmas Story. It's from season 1. If you've never seen the show, Growing Pains is a great show. It's about a family of a mom who is a reporter and a dad who's a psychiatrist and their kids growing up on Long Island, which was really cool for me. But this episode deals with one of Jason's patients who he feels very alone. That's one of his problems. He plays Santa Claus at an orphanage, but all the kids hate him. And he decides he's going to kill himself. And he plans to commit suicide by jumping down the Seavers chimney head first. And the main crux of the episode is Jason, and I can't remember the character's name that he's talking to, but just on the roof, sort of talking about his problems and sort of this season and everything. And the reason why, I know that sounds like really, really dark and probably shouldn't be Christmas, but the thing I like about it is what you get to is by the end of the episode, you get to the sense of like, this is a great time of year and it's very happy for a lot of us. But there is also this thing of we need to enjoy the time we have with the people and the things we love while we have them. And that's sort of what this episode talks about, because you find out he had a dog and that was the last person he lived with. And it was the only person who really loved him and wasn't afraid, wasn't weirded out by him. And that's sort of what Jason sort of discovers. And it's just, it does get really happy in the end, but it is mostly that thing of just like, life isn't always happy and there are growing pains. And yeah, so Growing Pains Christmas Story. Sorry for the long explanation, but yeah, that's. And Malcolm's not seen the show.
I haven't. I know you've told me to.
But you saw the clip I posted on my Facebook page, so.
I know you've told me to watch the special, just haven't got around to it. Sandy, what do you say about Growing Pains Christmas?
Listen, Growing Pains was required viewing in my household. It was one of those shows where everybody got gathered around the TV and we watched it, whether or not we were eating dinner or just being there as a family. I do remember this episode, and it was sad, but Matt is right. It was one of the first episodes that you ever saw where a popular television show really made a point of telling us, listen, we all know that everybody's happy and they're out Christmas shopping and they're buying presents and decorating trees and getting big feasts all cooked up and being with family and friends and stuff like that. But there is another side as well. And that side is that some people just don't have the ways or the means to be, that Christmas oriented, because life can sometimes kick you in the face. And you know what? I'm one of those people that very much believe in that. And so to see this episode portray that in a thoughtful and kind way is a no-brainer for me. This absolutely makes the cut for me. I can't go. You can download it. You can see it probably on YouTube. You just go and look it up and watch this episode. It'll give you a new appreciation for everything that you do have.
It does also have funny moments to it as well. There's a great moment at the beginning when Mike tries to run over the three wise men with a train until and Carol tried to stop him, and then right before the train hits the wise men, it stops, and Carol's just like, a Christmas miracle, and then it's just Jason. But my favorite funny part of this is when they find out, like, they're trying to talk him down from committing suicide, and so Mike's just like, do you want to come down and have eggnog? And he's like, I'm going to commit suicide, you're off me eggnog? And Mike just goes, it says right here, festive for all occasions. So there are funny parts to it. There are funny parts to the episode. I don't know why I'm still defending when it got on the list. I love it so much.
Sandy, what's the next show you're going to bring up?
All right, so I'm going to leave my big guns alone for a little while, and I'm going to just do a little bit of talking to the audience right now. I feel that this has to well, it doesn't have to be on the list, but it comes from a show that I absolutely love. I loved, and Matt and I were talking about Smallville the other day, and a few days earlier, that it's one of those ones that I try to rewatch the entire series, every couple of years, and I do this with The West Wing. I watched this. Aaron Sorkin's writing with The West Wing is so fantastic. It really does show a good representation of what the White House is. In particular, they used to have great end-of-year Christmas episodes, but the one I am going to pick from The West Wing is called In Excelsis Deo. It's about Toby, who is Jewish on the thing, and he finds a card of a homeless man who died in his jacket pocket, and he goes out of his way for whatever is in his head about this, because he just gets it. He goes out of his way to try to find this person and find this person's family, because he can't find any record of this person except his military record, but he hasn't been given full military burial rights. So he goes way out of his way to find where this person has gone and the family of this person, and he's able to find his military record and give the family the full military benefits and burial rights of this person who served the country. It is such a moving episode, and it shows that like what one person can do when you can put your mind to something, and it changed the entire life and entire structure of a very poor family who had been forgotten by their government. And it's such a satisfying ending to get to, and especially because it's done by Toby, who isn't the most emotional person on the show, and so for him to have done this, it was very special for me to watch, but I understand that most people haven't seen it, but I really wanted to bring it up. It's a very great episode to go and watch it with your family, watch it with your kids, so your kids can see what impact just helping somebody randomly, even if you don't know them, can actually do. So In Excelsis Deo is from The West Wing is my nomination for this list.
Matt, what do you say about The West Wing and Excelsis Deo?
Sorry, coughing. West Wing, Aaron Sorkin, writing. Martin Sheen plays the president, I believe. Rob Lowe is on it. Never seen it. Meaning to. Been meaning to. It's one of those. Been meaning to. So sadly, again, I have to say no. Been meaning to. You guys like that lead on? It's like, oh, Matt's seen.
Yeah, West Wing is another of those shows which is great that I've not seen.
Yeah, it's funny that out of a panel of, where there's one American, it's not the American that has seen The West Wing.
Yeah.
Anyway, my next nomination I'm going to bring up is one that I watch every Christmas. I actually watched this the other day. It's also starring Rowan Atkinson. It's Merry Christmas, Mr. Bean. This is
We're finding out Malcolm has a big love for Rowan Atkinson from this Christmas episode.
No, I mean, this episode is really great. Just seeing everything that he does, whether it's unplugging all the lights from around the building and just to see if the lights go, all the way to having a turkey stuck on his head and scaring his guests.
You have the turkey on.
It's one of those ones which I identify because he's just like a real man, like a normal person experiencing Christmas as opposed to sort of seeing a whole bunch like the way celebrities sort of act with their Christmas. It's one of those ones. But Matt, what do you say about Merry Christmas, Mr. Bean?
So, Mr. Bean, Mr. Bean, all the beanie, Mr. Atkinson, Bean the Roy. The only thing I've ever seen of Mr. Bean is I saw a trailer for Mr. Bean Returns once when I was a kid. Never saw the movie, but yeah, I have seen again clips of this from the Nostalgia Critics list. Never checked out the show though. Sorry.
Sandy, what do you say about Merry Christmas, Mr. Bean?
All right, so let's peer through the looking glass here, folks. Somebody that I mentioned, I mentioned very rarely on any of these feeds that I'm on, but Malcolm is not alone in the love of this particular Christmas special and this particular character. This particular character is also loved by my wife. My wife makes me watch this Christmas special every single year because I make her watch all the ones that I love. And she does that. And I have come to enjoy it, even though I grumble about it every single time. There is something about Mr. Bean that just, you know what, makes me chuckle. Like, it doesn't make me openly laugh or do anything, but it makes me sit there and and chuckle a little bit because he's such a knob. But this is a fun Christmas special, so yeah, I'm going to put it on the list. I think that it deserves to be there. It's a fun. It's a fun play. It's a fun little thing to do. So and it means well.
I was waiting for Sandy to be like, my wife forced me to watch this every year, so I'll spike and say, take that, honey. How you like that? What? Mr. Bean said no. You.
Anyway, I'm going to throw it back to Matt. Matt, what are you going to throw up next?
What am I going to throw up next? See, I'm going to throw out The Office. But specifically because they've had a lot of great Christmas episodes. Season 6's Secret Santa. This is a really fun Christmas episode. It deals with, by this point, they think Dunder Mifflin's going to shut down. So Michael comes in thinking this is his last Christmas to dress up as Santa. But Jim, who at this point in the series is co-manager, has let Phyllis be Santa. So there's kind of a battle between Santas until Michael concedes. But he concedes like Michael Scott would, and instead chooses to dress up as Jesus. And I will leave it there because if you've not seen this episode, it's a lot of fun. It's very funny, and also at the end, it does get very heartwarming. There are a lot of great jokes throughout. So, The Office, Secret Santa.
Sandy, what do you say about The Office, Secret Santa?
It feels like I'm gonna cop out here because I have never seen. I've seen select episodes here and there, but I think I could probably count on one hand how many Office episodes I've ever seen. Just not a big fan of it. I love the movie. I love The Office, the movie, but I don't particularly like either the British or the American versions of The Office, the television show. So for that reason and that reason alone, I will say, because I haven't seen it, I can't vote. So I'll say no.
Yeah, I've also, as Matt knows, I've never actually seen The Office as well. So I'm just going to have to be a no for me as well. Anyway, Sandy.
Wait, I'm looking on my list here. I'm going to save it. There's not really another one. I'm going to save it. Because I think the other ones that when I get on here, you guys will probably say yes to, so I don't. If not, dear God, for the two that I really want to get on here, if you say no, that's wrong.
Anyway, it's back to Sandy. Sandy, what is your next nomination?
Back to me, eh? Okay, so...
Okay.
My first ones have been slaughtered and slapped down. So it looks like I'm going to have to go.
I said 5-year-old Matt would have said yes to all of the other reindeer for what it's worth.
All right. I'm going to bring out. All right. I'm going to bring out a TV episode. I'm going to bring out a TV episode. I've only got a couple on here, but I've got one on here, and it's probably probably one of my favorite episodes on this this series of television shows. You know what? You can always count on this show if you needed to air your grievances or do some feats of strength around an aluminum pole. While you sing songs of Festivus, and that would be Seinfeld, The Strike. It starts off with Kramer claiming that he's about to go back to work because the strike is over to the place that he was working way long ago. And he goes down there and he's like, okay, the strike's over. And he's like, yeah, like nobody cared. And he goes back to work and it's hot and it's miserable and he hates it. But he finds out about this extra Christmas tradition that the Costanzas have, and they have completely taken over Christmas and turned it into Festivus because it's just what George's dad wanted to do. Instead of a tree, they have an aluminum pole, and then they air their grievances at the Christmas table for dinner, and they talk about how much they annoyed each other throughout the year, and then at the end of the night it's all about the feats of strength, and you got to wrestle. George has got to wrestle his dad, and he hates this holiday. He can't stand it. He just hates it all, but it is funny from the beginning of it to the end of it. So Seinfeld, The Strike with Festivus as the holiday is my choice for this round.
Matt, what do you think about The Strike from Seinfeld?
Hello, Malcolm. I'm gonna say yes. Love Seinfeld. This is a great episode. There's not really much like. If you've never seen this episode, it's a fun one. It's a fun one. Especially since it's also like me and my uncle. For the longest time, we had a tradition where everyone else in the house was like talking after dinner and before dessert. Me and my uncle just years ago we would wrestle, and I almost beat him the last year, but then we stopped it. I almost beat him. It was real funny, and we got a couple of cuts and bruises, but it's worth it for the memories.
Yeah, I've only seen one episode of Seinfeld, and that was the first episode.
You started with the first? Malcolm. I love that episode, but that's not the one to start with.
So I haven't seen this one.
To quote one of your favorite movies, Malcolm and Sandy, one does not simply just watch one episode of Seinfeld.
That's right.
Watch the bread feed.
But anyway, Seinfeld, The Strike does make the list. And it's back to me.
That would be a fun episode to rank them, though. Not that Malcolm could host it, but Top 12 Seinfeld. Be a hard list to make. Sorry to take over your show. I'm sorry, Malcolm.
No, as a little side thing, just before Malcolm starts there, coming up in the new year on Full Metal Random, Seinfeld episode. So be watching out for that in the future.
Boys. I love Seinfeld.
But anyway, it's back to me, and I hinted in the description of this that I'm going to try and get a superhero show on here, and I'm going to try for an episode of Smallville, which I really loved, just simply known as Lexmas. This is one in which it's one of those ones which is not quite one, but it's like Lex kind of dreams about an alternate future in which he's married to Lois and
Lana
goes and all that. It's one of those episodes which is just so created around the holiday of Christmas, and it's just entertaining, and just seeing a reality that never happened play out as well is just interesting. Matt, what do you say about Smallville Lexmas?
Oh, this is hard. Because you literally just reminded me that I didn't put on my list another superhero show Christmas special. So how many do we have?
currently 5.
Go to Sandy, just because this is hard.
Sandy, what do you say about Smallville, Lexmas?
I think when you started talking about it very right at the beginning, you saw my hand go up because that was my hand to go, Malcolm, you don't have to explain anymore. This is on the list. It is absolutely on my list. Smallville's Lexmas is almost sort of like a retelling of almost It's a Wonderful Life, sort of like where Lex grows up. It's in a complete alternate reality where Lex is a great dude and he's marrying Lana and Clark is his best friend, and everybody loves Lex, and the Kents love him, and his dad loves him, and his mom is still there, and it's just this really, really awesome episode to see what could have been, especially if you're a Superman and a Smallville fan. It is absolutely awesome, and I love it because it's so closely recognized with It's a Wonderful Life, even though it's not like, oh, hey, listen, if I wasn't here, how would the world be? It's, what if I was a different type of human? What would the world be like at that point? And because it's so closely recognizable with that, and that's my favorite movie of all time, then yeah, I absolutely put this on the list without any question.
And Matt, what would you say?
Yes, I still don't know. That's why I'm glad, Sandy. I don't know. I don't know what I would have said. I don't remember this episode a lot. That's the problem. I haven't gotten up to it in my rewatch yet. Yeah. So sorry.
And I mean, there's no reason why more than one superhero Christmas special can't make it on. So, Matt, it's back to you. It's time to throw out something.
Okay, I'm just going to throw it out before I forget it because I'm a dumbass, and because I love this episode so much, I forget it's Christmas episode, but it is. I'm going with my favorite episode of The Flash from Season 2, Running to a Standstill. This sees the return of Mark Hamill as the Trickster. We get Weather Wizard. This is also just, I love this episode because, as Malcolm knows very well, my favorite thing about Flash Season 2 is the relationship between Barry and Patty. And this is sort of a big moment for them because I like how Patty tells the Flash her relationship when it comes to the Weather Wizard, but she doesn't tell Barry. And so Barry has the difficult thing of how can he talk to her knowing this stuff, but she didn't tell him. And it's great, like, dual identity superhero stuff, but it's Mark Hamill hamming it up as the Trickster. I love him as his own so much. Also, Harry has some really great moments, but I really love the ending of this episode when through the glass that Harry can't hear, Barry talks about the fact that Harrison Wells from the first season always told him that he wasn't going to be happy, he couldn't find happiness, but he is, and it's just a really great moment for Barry. So Flash Running to a Standstill is my next mention.
Sandy, what do you say about Flash Running to a Standstill?
All right, so it's not that I don't like this episode, because I really, really do. It's just that I've counted my list, and I have at least 7 more that I want to get on here, and we're running out of space. So this is a great episode. It's a great feel-good episode. There's no question about it. But I'm going to say, yes, put it on there. More superheroes, the better. See, I did what Matt was doing.
I mean, but you know what the thing was I was fine if you guys said no, because I'm still doing the same. Even when I said it, I'm like,
yeah. But now it's going to be, now we're getting serious now. So
yeah, now we're in serious time. So all right, yeah. And Malcolm.
And I mean,
yes, of course, because this episode is so great.
Would I? I don't know. I mean, it might be my least favorite episode of Flash. You don't know.
Wow.
But no, it is. I would have said yes to it. It is one of my favorite episodes of the Flash. And I mean, Mark Hamill showed in this one playing the Trickster why he's a good voice for the Joker, because the Trickster and the Joker is pretty much similar in sort of personality-ish.
Malcolm, just stop while you're ahead. Just stop while you are ahead is all I'll say. Not the same.
Anyway, it's back to you, Sandy. Sandy, what is the next show you're going to bring up?
All right, no more screwing around. I'm coming out with the heavy guns now.
Shit.
So I don't want. This is where Cody is inhabiting my body like a ghost from Christmas future, and I will start getting angry. Sandy, no, just joking. All right, guys, there is no better holiday episode or holiday special that is on year to year that I don't A, record, and B, watch it at least 3 more times before the holidays. And it is the Dr. Seuss's The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. This is the absolute epitome of what it is to be a Christmas fan. If you love Christmas, then you love this movie or love this TV show. The great voiceover work, the songs that are in it, the whole, even the dog is so great. It's so loyal to the Grinch, but yet so abused by the Grinch. And then, the Who's and the rhyming and all of that from the classic children's book. It's so good and so uplifting. I don't care if you are frozen in ice. The minute the Grinch gets that scoopy little smile on his face and his heart grows 3 sizes and you see it burst out of the metal heart cage and he runs down there tooting his horn as he's bringing all the toys and stuff back to Whoville when they're singing. It's magical. So my vote is for exactly Matt. My vote is for Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, 1966, fantastic version.
Matt, what do you say about How the Grinch Stole Christmas?
Doris, welcome Christmas, bring your cheer. Doris, welcome. Yes, this is yes. I love the special. For as much as I love the Jim Carrey movie, this is my favorite version of the Grinch. Boris Karloff is a great narrator, a great voice of the Grinch. And it is short. It's half an hour. It's very faithful to the book. They only added a couple things here and there, but I mean the songs. This is just Sandy didn't mention him, so I will. This is just great Chuck Jones animation. It just you know it's Chuck Jones because the colors just pop and they're fantastic. And I'm so happy this is a special that is still being shown because this was one that before I got the DVD I would always have to plan. Look for the TV guide to see when it was going to be on and then beg my mom to let me stay up a little bit past my bedtime to be able to watch the whole thing. So, yeah, I love this special.
Nice.
And, I mean, for me, I said on the Christmas movie episode that I do prefer Jim Carrey's The Grinch over this, but...
Oh, that's fine. That's a good one.
But I still would have suggested this because... one, Jim Carrey's movie isn't a TV special, and 2, this was probably a good second version of it. I haven't seen the Cumberbatch one that's in cinemas yet, so I don't know that will compare. But
that's what I've heard. I'm sad.
I don't know. I've heard the depiction of the Grinch is not very good, and that makes me upset. Yeah.
But yeah, it's back to me, and I'm going to bring up an episode of Community, which I believe that will probably be lynched in the chat if we don't at least bring up a community episode. I'm bringing up regional holiday music. This is a very fun Christmas special, and it's also literally a rip-off of Glee, which is Glee is one of my favorite shows as well, but this is just fun with the fact that it's got the cast of Community just singing songs and just acting not quite acting like themselves, just they're having fun with ripping on Glee and stuff. Because I mean, Dan Harmon has made it known that he really does not like Glee, and this episode just shows that he really hates it. It's like he sort of nitpicks into all the tropes and everything that most people that hate Glee don't like. But Matt, what do you say about community regional holiday music?
I'm just hearing you repeat yourself. That's awesome. So, Community. I think I saw a part of an episode once when I was on American Airlines flight a couple of years ago. I don't know. I know Joe McHale was on this show, and that is it. So
Donald Glover.
It's a no. Donald Glover, yeah, that's right too. Wish he would have made more Community than Solo, but regardless, it's a no. Just
that's an episode of Rhyme and Reason that you can check out from a few weeks back.
Yeah, it's called Matt Hates Solo. Here's why.
Sandy, what do you say about Community?
So I also had a Community episode on my list. It was Abed's Uncontrollable Christmas, which was done in the same. All the characters were done in the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer claymation kind of episode. I found that one was more of a Christmas episode than this one. But I mean. Yeah, I mean, we're at how I got to say, if you'd have brought that one up, I would have said yes. But the simple fact that I haven't seen that particular one, I got to say no on it.
That's fine. The other one might actually come up at some stage because I did have both of them on here. So I'm not going to save this one. But Matt, what is the next show you got to bring up?
The next show I'm going to bring up is the classic A Charlie Brown Christmas. This is such a great one. I like the fact that Charlie Brown, he's not exactly excited for Christmas like a lot of the other kids. And I kind of like that. I as with the Growing Pains one, I kind of like the Christmas specials where they have characters that just sort of bring up the sort of sad parts of Christmas, but I do like that Charlie Brown, the character that he always is trying to find the brighter side, and of course it's symbolized by the tree he brings back, and it's just a lot of fun. I love the fact that this is from the 60s, and it's tackling the commercialization of Christmas, and that's in the 60s. Like, I love when, Charlie, sort of gets laughed out of the pageant with his tree, and he goes back to find Snoopy's house and everything. It's like, even my dog, but then all the kids sort of, after they listen to Linus quote the Bible and all this, that they sort of realize what they did is wrong, and they all go back and they build the tree up, and it's just nothing feels more like Christmas than the opening of this with them all skating with that song. I love this special.
Sandy, what do you say about A Charlie Brown Christmas?
I feel like I've been saying this a lot, but there are very few must-see parents to make your children watch, even if they go, oh, lame, or this sucks, or blah blah blah. It is essential that you make you introduce your children to this, because the message is so important. It is 100% on this list. It is 100% on my list. It is there all day long. The message is so good, and Matthew hit it right on the head. It talks about bullying. It talks about tolerance. It talks about helping your fellow man. It talks about, you don't always need the best and biggest of everything, that you can make do, and you can still have that magical Christmas moment, even if you don't have a lot. And that's what this episode shows. So yes, 100% yes, all the yeses I can find.
This is actually one of the many Charlie Brown ones I've not seen.
What the? I'm sorry.
partly because the Charlie Brown specials, they actually very rarely show in New Zealand. But this
What's the number to your prime minister? You need to change that.
But I mean, one thing I have noticed, especially this year, just about all the Charlie Brown specials are being criticised for some reason or another, which is just crazy to me. Because I mean, Charlie Brown's just one of those ones which. Why?
It's funny. Specials that are about a kid who is always getting bullied are now being bullied. That's ironic, isn't it? Someone missed the point of the show.
But and say that it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't matter. It makes the list anyway. So.
Oh,
I'm just more pissed at these people.
I know. They're just
what the hell?
But anyway, it's back to Sandy. Sandy, what are you going to bring up next?
Oh man, we're at 9 right now.
Oh, I know. Oh, it's going to continue on this list. All right, so no more screwing around again. We've got 2 of the absolute 3 must-haves on this list, or 4 that must-have on this list, and I'm going to bring up the next one that's going to be on the list. And if you guys haven't seen it, I swear to God, I'm going to find you. It is a classic retelling with our favorite Disney characters of the whole Charles Dickens A Christmas Story, and it is Mickey's Christmas Carol. It is the cartoon that I search for to make sure that I watch it every single year. Scrooge McDuck is the perfect Ebenezer Scrooge, and all of the Tinkerbell as the ghost of Christmas past, and then the big giant as the ghost of Christmas present, and and then the big burly dog guy with the cigar is the ghost
Pete.
Of Christmas. Pete, exactly, is the ghost of Christmas future, and it is so good. It is so good that I paid to buy it, so I would never miss out on it again. Okay. So yes, Mickey's Christmas Carol, the old one, not the newer ones, not anything like that, but the retelling of Charles Dickens' classic Christmas Carol in this format, so good. I need it to be on this list.
Well, I mean, I've not had a Christmas in which I have not watched Mickey's Christmas Carol, and it is one that I do enjoy watching. With 3 spots left, I think I can say yes to it. Matt, what would you have said?
So, as some people learned in the chat on Facebook for the Christmas movies list, I'm not really a fan of any of the movie versions of A Christmas Story. I love the play to pieces. It's one of my favorite plays. But this isn't a movie. I love this. Listen, you can call me I'm a crazy person to say, because I don't really count, but I don't really count Scrooged as a Christmas Carol. I count it more as just a Bill Murray comedy. The thing I love, again, like I said, the play is one of my favorite plays. The thing I love is that they condense into 30 minutes. And you think when you read or if you see the play of A Christmas Carol, you go, there's no way you could tell this in 30 minutes. But they do it so well, and you still get the emotion of this character and everything. And I like the fact that even though it is with because one of my problems with the Muppets Christmas Carol to say is I don't like how there's always all the in-jokes with the which, okay, I love the Muppets, but that's one of the things because it takes away, whereas here it's like they don't make fun of the fact that it's Mickey Mouse or that it's Goofy is Jacob Marley. Like this is Jacob Marley and this is Ebenezer Scrooge, and I love that. And then it also it looks very beautiful. Like it's very beautifully animated, and it might be the only time you ever see Mickey Mouse cry is when in the future when Tiny Tim's dead. And it's just, again, I love the fact that you're able to tell this beautiful story that everyone should, if you've never read A Christmas Carol, change that. This story, everyone should know, and condense it in 30 minutes so that a kid can sort of consume it. I have to give a hell yes to Mickey's A Christmas Carol.
And with that, it's back to me. So put this down.
10. Oh, we're at 10 by my count, if I'm not mistaken,
yeah.
right? Okay.
I was just making sure I wrote that down on my list I've got to the side so I remember what's actually on there. So, but anyway,
so we got 2 spots left, and there's only 2 real ones that deserve places on the list left, so it's perfect.
Depends on what you say, real ones.
But anyway, for this one, let me tell you a marvelous story about Bobunk. But yeah, I'm going to bring up Sabrina the Teenage Witch's Christmas special that's known as Christmas Amnesia. This is one in which she goes to a party in the other realm and ends up somehow erasing Christmas, and which leads to a conversation she had with Salem when she finds out that Christmas has been erased, and Ben Salem brings up this holiday known as Bobunk, in which he accidentally erased himself when he was younger. But I mean, Sabrina's just one of those ones which I really enjoy, and this episode definitely does a lot of crazy things, especially when it comes to having school go on because there's no Christmas holiday anymore. So, Matt, what do you say about Christmas Amnesia?
Well, first, oh my god, I couldn't imagine there not being a winter break. I love Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I used to watch it a lot when my sister's growing up. I couldn't for the life of me remember this episode ever being on reruns when I would watch it. So I have to say no. I love the show. It's a great show. The Netflix one's too scary. What are you doing, Netflix? Get Melissa Joan Hart back.
I like it.
I haven't seen the Netflix Christmas special yet. But
Christmas special? You mean show? Not Christmas special.
Well, they've just recently done a Christmas special. That,
they did? Okay.
Yeah. Sandy, what do you say about Christmas Amnesia?
No.
Oh, shit.
No, I mean, sorry, Malcolm. It has nothing to do with your case or anything like that. It's just there are more. Unfortunately, there are I think more important ones that need to get on the list, and with only 2 spots left. Melissa Joan Hart and Talking Salem, the animatronic cat, and ABC's TGIF lineup is not going to get it done for me today. So sorry, Malcolm, but it's got to be a no.
You didn't have to explain yourself. I kind of figured that was your reason.
Yeah, what the fuck, man? I just kind of
I wanted to explain myself. So
I wish if you had just left it at no, so we'd be like, hey, no.
Moving on.
But anyway, Matt, it's back to you. What's the next show you're going to bring up?
The next show I'm going to bring up is probably not on Sandy's list of must-haves, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. So, going on back to the 1980s. Night Court. I'm going with. It is actually the second episode of season 1. And the title of the episode is Santa Goes Downtown. So the episode is there's this crazy guy who thinks he's Santa who's been brought in at the same time that 2 runaway teenagers, one played by a very young Michael J. Fox, are brought in as well. And the main crux of the episode is they're trying to get these kids to sort of admit who they are so they can, get their parents to be able to find them. And the crazy man thinks he's Santa. He thinks he can help with that. And there's this really, really touchy scene at the end of the episode when Michael J. Fox's character, he gets very angry because, he realizes that, they've been lying to them about him being Santa and all this stuff. And Harry, who's the judge, he just starts hugging him. And at first he starts resisting. He's like, just let me hug you. And he's like, you're in a room full of people who care about you. Again, it goes back to the growing pains thing of it's just kind of like, there are people who love you. You just sort of have to take a second look at it. And it's a funny episode. I don't really want to ruin any of the jokes in there. But yeah, so Night Court Santa goes downtown. You never seen an episode of Night Court. It's okay, Malcolm. I get it. I've been saying that a lot tonight as well.
But also, I was about to say I've never even heard of Night Court.
Oh, wow.
Wow, boy, you need to change that.
Sandy, what do you say about Night Court?
So I'm gonna give props to Matt for this one. Night Court is absolutely hilarious. It is if you've never seen it, it's pretty much where John Larroquette got his start and where he is the most funny of his entire career. It is
he's great in Stripes, but yeah, as Dan, the best.
He's so good. Not to be not let you guys behind the curtain a little bit. My nickname in high school, because I was so tall, I was 6'3" by the time I was in grade 8. My nickname was Bull for the first for my first 2 years in high school. So, you know what? It was okay because I really enjoyed the show and he was really, really awesome in it. So, but unfortunately, because I cannot remember this episode of this one episode, I have to say no because I can't even bring it into my head.
Since you like,
I'm going to check it out. I'm going to check it out. Yeah, I absolutely am going to. But for now, I have to say no on that one.
And Malcolm, I would suggest to you can check it out. Considering it's the second episode of the show, you don't really need to see the full series to be able to watch it.
Sandy, what is the next show you're especially bringing up?
All right, so I once again am not slowing down on my list of awesome Christmas specials that need to be on this list, and it is another must-see that I watch every single year. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it so much that I bought it and I own it. It is so fantastic. It is the 1964 Burl Ives narrated and sung episode called Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It is all done in claymation, even the fuzzy parts, which are great. There are great characters in this. You've got Rudolph. You know the story. You know the song. He tries to get into the reindeer games. They don't let him. They're mean. They pick on him. He runs away. He has a little girlfriend named Clarice, and she's great. And his dad's upset because he's got a big red nose, and Santa doesn't like him.
Dick of a father.
Oh, nice. That's great. But it's got such a good story, and you meet Cornelius, who takes him on a journey, running away from the abominable snow monster, who they nicknamed the Bumble. The Bumble's great. It's such a great. I'm not going to ruin it for anybody who hasn't seen it, but it is such a good, heartwarming story about
Don't forget about Hermie.
Oh, and Hermie the Elf. Exactly. Sorry, Robert Parker. Hermie the Elf, who doesn't like making toys. He wants to be a dentist. So him and Rudolph hook up and take off because they don't like being bullied and picked on. So they take off and they get into some shenanigans. So no, I wasn't. Matt. In the gutter. He's always in the gutter. But yes, so my vote for the next one onto this list is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer's 1964 edition. Matt.
Yeah, I mean, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is a great song. This is a great special. I didn't connect with it as much as you did, Sandy, so I'm kind of going to say no to it. But Matt, what do you say about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
I want to see the new X-rated version where Hermie and Rudolph hook up. I guess that's my his nose goes red, kids.
Wow. Down the rabbit hole we go, everybody. Down the rabbit hole.
They're not going to the Island of Misfits toys in this one, kids. This is hard because I do love the special. You know what? For the classics, I'll say yes, because the other one that I could bring up is probably one that you guys will both say you don't remember. So I'll say yes to Rudolph since it's a great special. But I just can't get that out of the gutter about
but anyway, it's back to me.
Can you finish the list, right? This is battling for the last spot.
It is. But so one spot left. I don't know if I'm going to fill it, but I'm tossing up between two long-running series. I'm going to throw this one out first. And the first thing I'm going to say is all I want is Megan Fox and Nothing But Her Socks. And Brooklyn's going to be happy because I'm bringing up Family Guy Road to the North Pole. This is a very fun special with creepy elves that go beyond creepy at times, depending on what you think about. But yeah, this is a very fun episode. Brian, the Road 2 episodes have always been fun, but you've got Brian and Stewie going to North Pole to see Santa, and all that. I'm not going to go too much into it because if you haven't seen it, it's really fun to watch and see a whole bunch of references and some jabs that Canada do at times as well. But anyway, but Matt, what do you say about Family Guy Road to the North Pole?
Road to the North Pole was one of the last episodes of Family Guy I watched when I actually enjoyed this show. There's a lot of funny moments from it I remember, one of which involving a baseball bat. Based on principle, however, there's other specials that could take this final spot. I'm sorry, Brooklyn, but no. Keep your Charles in Charge lunchbox somewhere else.
Sandy, what do you say about Road to the North Pole?
Okay, so it is a good episode. There's no question about it. But as we are fighting for the last spot on the list, I'm gonna have to give this one a no. I just think there's a couple other ones here that we could mention that might be able to get on the list. So for this one, once again, not the biggest Family Guy fan, but I do appreciate it, and just got to say no on this list.
Okay, Matt, are you able to fill up that last spot?
Probably not, but I'm gonna go with my next nomination is gonna be for That 70s Show. The Christmas episode I'm going with is an Eric Foreman Christmas. This is a really fun episode. Eric's mom, Kitty, drafts him to be the director of the Christmas pageant with all his friends, but they all don't care about Christmas too much because they're all cynical teenagers, and Eric's the only one who does. And it's that really fun thing because I really connected with Eric in this episode because that's me a lot, especially in high school where it was like, people only care about getting gifts. They don't really care about the spirit of Christmas. And I did. And, leave it to Tommy Chong's Leo to sort of put the rest of That 70s Show gang in their place and sort of realize that like Eric's the only really good one with Christmas spirit out there. And then there's also a really funny, I guess, B plot where Red steals all of Bob's Christmas decorations, and Kitty realizes that she's married to the Grinch, and it's just a really fun episode. And the ending, what they do at the ending, cracks me up to no end every time I watch it. So yeah, That 70s Show and Eric Foreman Christmas.
I'm going to go out the way and just say I really don't like That 70s Show, so I'm just going to say no.
Oh, we're getting personal here, aren't we? Mr. Bean.
Sandy, what do you say about that 70s show?
I do love that 70s show, except for the last 2 seasons. And yet it's a great Christmas episode. It really is. I gotta say no. I gotta say no because I gotta at least try to get this one on. And if I can't, then I'm fine with it. But if it does,
you better watch out, Sandy. Me and Malcolm now might just be saying no because we're like, well, we got this special that we really want to.
I know. I can
just have a spite.
I can feel it already.
Anyway, Sandy, can you fill up the final spot?
I don't know anymore. I thought it was going to be a slam dunk, but it might just out of spite not happen. No, not that I think that you guys would. I'm old school, guys. I really am. They did it right in the 60s. They did it right. I'm here to tell you. So I'm coming at you with another episode of Christmas awesomeness from the 1960s. It is the 1969 classic Frosty the Snowman. It is all about a group of kids that go outside and make a snowman, and a big stupid dummy, a fake magician who in fact has a real magical hat, lets his hat get away, and the kids pick it up and decide to put it onto Frosty's hat. And as soon as they do, a big gust of wind pops around, and he wakes up. Happy birthday! I know that's an odd saying for a Christmas, but it's because he's born. He just gets born, so it's his birthday. So he says happy birthday, and then they go on a wacky adventure, and Santa ends up coming and saving the day, and Christmas is saved, and Frosty is saved, and everybody is happy. So my vote for the last spot is 1969's animated classic Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah, I'm going to say no to this. It's a good special, but I just don't have it in my top 12. Matt, what do you say about Frosty the Snowman?
I'll say yes. Frosty. It's a really fun special. It's from that classic era. Yeah, I mean there are some other ones I'm sure we'll do an honorable mentions, but out of all those, it's probably the best one that I have on my list that I haven't brought up already. So yeah.
Nice, thank you, Matt.
But anyway, that falls up our list. Got a bunch of good ones in there. Matt, what honorable mentions did you have?
So some of the honorable mentions I had were South Park, Woodland Critters Christmas, which is a great one. I also had from the classic Rankin Bass era, I had Jack Frost. Really fun special if you guys have never seen it. That's pretty much it. Everything else I was able to talk about if I brought it up or if someone else did, but those are two. Also, just if you've never seen Cody and Kids Next Door's Christmas episode and Sweet Life of Zach and Cody's, those are both really great ones as well. Those are two I would suggest you check out.
And Sandy, what honorable mentions did you have?
Oh, okay. So I got quite a little bit of honorable mentions, not super lots, but I'll just go through them real quick. Like I said, the Community episode, Abed's Uncontrollable Christmas is great. Every Christmas episode of Downton Abbey, except for one, is really great. They're like mini movies. They're produced perfectly. They're a great time. So go and watch those. I do have a South Park episode on my list. It's Mr. Hanky the Christmas Poo. It's the very first Christmas episode, and it's fantastic. It's hilarious. I mean, it's all about a poo. So, I mean, how can you not be happy with that? I've got the 1979 claymation Jack Frost that Matt brought up. I also have the Pinky and the Brain Christmas. And the last one that is probably going to get groans from the fans, Star Wars Holiday Special in 1978. Absolutely is a great Christmas episode. It sucks so many donkey balls, but go and watch it. It's so funny. It's a great episode to have on there.
It's not a Christmas episode.
It is too.
It's a Life Day episode.
It was filmed at Christmas time.
Oh. Can you actually back that up? Was it actually filmed in December?
It was released at Christmas time.
It was actually released at Thanksgiving time. It was released in November.
Oh, well, okay. But yes, it is still a Christmas episode, even though it's called Holiday or
now it might be
Day.
my Facebook avatar right now. However, that's just because I love Harrison Ford in that damn special. Because he doesn't give a shit, and yet he has one convincing line, which is at the end when he's you guys are all like family to me. You're like, all right, fine. Harrison tried, but it all comes down to when Carrie started to sing, just the disinterest. He's like, "What here, George? What are you doing?"
This is the reason out there, happy people, that I didn't bring this up as one that I wanted to add onto the list, because it would have gotten cremated. So I still consider it a Christmas episode. So
I've actually seen it too. Some people shit on it and they've never seen it. I've seen it at least. George Lucas is never going to release it though. He said he will hunt it down with a sledgehammer.
Yep. Yeah, it's absolutely.
I like that that's what he's doing in his retirement. Is he's searching down all the bootleg copies out there and smashing them.
He hired Jay and Silent Bob to go and find every copy. So those are all the ones that I have on my list. So there's lots more. I mean, like Shrek the Halls is a good episode.
That's a great one.
You know, there's lots of great ones, and I know we missed a ton out there, fans that are watching. Thanks very much for watching us on Christmas. But you know what? I think the list that we have right now is pretty darn good.
And I mean, there's just lots and lots of Christmas specials. Just about every TV show wants to do a Christmas special every year.
Not everyone. The Goldbergs has great Hanukkah episodes, as do even Stevens.
And the Goldbergs actually do it both ways. They do Christmas and Hanukkah, and they do it pretty well. So it's pretty.
I love the Goldbergs. So
yep.
Sorry.
I mean, if someone brought up a Hanukkah one, I probably wouldn't have said this because I mean it's one of those ones. Hanukkah does happen around Christmas.
Yeah, Malcolm,
time too,
you probably wouldn't want to become the guy on the internet who said no to a hunt. You would have been like, "I'm sorry, we're only talking about Jesus-centric episodes on this list."
But anyway, my list of honorable mentions I've got Mrs. Brown's Boys. The one I specifically had was Mummy's Ass, but I mean all their Christmas specials are just really good. I had a very Glee Christmas from Glee. I had How I Met Your Mother, How Lily Stole Christmas. I had Fresh Prince, Deck the Halls. I had The Simpsons roasting on an open fire. I had the Friends episode, the one with the holiday armadillo, which is one of those ones which is Hanukkah, Christmas. But I mean, I had a lot there. But I mean, yeah, the list that we've got is pretty good.
Yeah.
But anyway,
now we rank them.
We do.
Whoo, boy, this is not going to be fun. Let's see.
Matt, what do you have for 12?
I have Mr. Bean.
Sandy, what do you have for 12?
The Office, Secret Santa.
I actually had Seinfeld, The Strike.
Oh my god. All right, chat. You pick between the three. Which do you want? Do you want The Office? Do you want Mr. Bean? Or do you want Seinfeld? Please, God, say someone's watching.
Yeah, we got with Brian Newsbaum and Star
Star
Drew are
Drew.
still watching.
Dude, that's your choices. Your choices are The Office, Secret Santa, Seinfeld, The Strike, and Merry Christmas, Mr. Bean.
I am waiting for these guys.
Dear God.
Somebody's going to say
this
something.
This is the problem when you have three people on here.
Yeah,
Star Drew. Just pick one. You can't say who knows. Just pick one, man. Pick Mr. Bean.
You have all the power now, Star Drew.
Pick Mr. Bean. Do it. Do it. Come on. Do it.
Office. Do
Just
it. The Office.
Do it. Make your dreams a reality. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. Just do it.
But anyway,
all right. So he says maybe not Mr. Bean. So that brings it down to
oh my
Seinfeld.
God, look, guys, in the chat, Matt Movie 611 says Mr. Bean. I guess Mr. Bean has to go at number 12.
All right, so Star Drew has agreed with The Office. Good job, Star Drew. And The Office is...
And Star Drew, blocked from the chat.
No way, buddy.
I have the power.
Matt Movies 11, blocked from the chat.
Screw that. He's got the little wrench next to him. You can't block him. You know what I just realized? I could have removed that comment before any of y'all saw it. Fuck. I hate Branko. I like talking about the shit I like, but then this is Christmas movies all over again. Fuckers. All over again.
Matt, what do you have
Mr. Bean.
Sandy, what do you have for...
Oh, so I was just keeping my list. Hold on.
Malcolm, you know how I work on Rankum.
Mr. Bean.
And I've...
You're still going to be stuck on
The Office just to piss
Seinfeld.
Me off.
Yeah.
Me and Malcolm, we work the same way. We just... All right.
Well, I mean, for me, it's one of those ones which is just
you don't like
a lot of them. I actually have no problem with. Like Seinfeld's the only one I really don't like out of these ones. So.
Malcolm has a big issue with Seinfeld. He's like, no. Looking at that number.
But yeah, Sandy, what do you have for 10?
I am going to go with The Flash, running to a standstill.
Matt, what do you have for 10?
I have Seinfeld, The Strike. Oh, are you upset about my choice there, Sandy?
Of course, what is that? There it is. I'm all right with that. Actually, make it in the top 10 is fine.
Oh, it must be nice for one of your favorites to make it in the top 10 there, Sandy. Feel good. Feel good.
All right. Where am I going to next? Oh, I erased it.
What? So.
Okay, so we're at 9 now.
Yeah, 9.
What do you got, Malcolm?
No, we're at. Malcolm. Malcolm. There we go. There, because of the
My computer was going crazy. But anyway, I've got The Flash for number 9.
I've got The Flash as well.
I have Smallville.
Oh, the Lexness is better than that Flash episode, dude. You know that.
My favorite episode of The Flash. And my favorite episode of Smallville is every episode from season 9 and 10 because Lois and Clark are together. You guys can hear all about that on my movies.
And I'll be talking about Lois Clark. I was actually considering bringing up the season greetings episode.
That's a good one. All right, hold on. What do we? How many we got? What do we got left?
A lot.
Yeah. Fuck it.
fuck it. I don't remember that one. Serger's asking did anyone watch the Christmas episode of the X-Men. I don't remember that one.
Probably. Just don't remember it.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I watched the Power Rangers Christmas episode. They're all terrible.
What do you have, Matt?
I have Smallville. Now, just out of spite, I put it here.
Sandy, what do you have for 8?
Yeah, I'm just tired. So Smallville.
With that, my vote wouldn't do better, Dom, so I'm not going to reveal it because.
No. Come on, Malcolm, reveal it. What was it?
No, he's not doing it.
I will reveal it now because we're voting for number 7 now. Growing Pains.
You motherfucker! You should have just not revealed it.
All right, you got Matt.
I got Rudolph.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
Well,
Sandy, what do you have?
I am definitely not upset now. Growing Pains.
And with that, Growing Pains is at 7.
Bullshit!
Vinny's out. Somebody got video. No.
Why does everyone my God. I gotta get like a different fucking account for Vinny because everyone thinks when I turn my camera off on rank up to screen profanity, they think it's Vinny. But this is bullshit. This should be in the top 5 at least. You well, I don't even care.
Matt, what do you have?
Rudolph.
Sandy, what do you have?
I have Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Don't do it, man.
I have got How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Fuck, here we go again. All right. You have Santa Claus Coming to Town, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and Rudolph to pick between.
Yep.
Right.
It's like it's on you again, Star Drew.
And apparently, he's not going to pick Rudolph because he thinks it should be in the top 3. So I guess it's between the Grinch and Santa Claus Coming Down.
And I know Star Drew. Star Drew, he's going to pick. He knows which one should be on the list. All right, so it's between Santa Claus is. I know you got to start.
I don't know, man, but please don't pick one of these because I'm going to be real upset if it doesn't get in the top 5. One of these.
So it is between How the Grinch Stole Christmas or Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Or Rudolph. You can pick
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer to be number 6 on the list.
Rudolph.
You can.
Remember all the good times.
I'll give him a few minutes, but I do have a reel set up with those 3 on it.
Can we just use that?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Because then we don't have to blame Star Drew.
I wouldn't blame Star Drew anyway, but it's
okay. And Rudolph. Yes, Rudolph is at 6.
Fuck yeah! Go technology when it works in my favor. There you go, Star Drew.
Well, in trivia matches, the wheel never works out to our wanting anyway. So
yeah, that is true. Ooh, now it's just real hard.
Well, not for me.
I'm sticking with the Grinch. Sandy, what do you have?
I still have Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Matt, what do you have?
I have Frosty the Snowman.
Man,
right,
wheelside.com is going to screw my list here. This is brutal. Star Drew.
Oh, really? It's brutal. How about having your friends screw you on this list? Not some stupid and honest thing, but yeah, Friends.
The fact that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer isn't in the top 5 is a god, and that's exactly what Stardrew said. He should have voted.
Well,
that's right. See, Stardrew, you got to vote on these things. All right, Stardrew votes. All right, Santa Claus is coming to town.
Fine, at least it's in the top 5, but it should have been number 1. Yeah, fuckers. Oh, the song was better than the special for yours, Sandy.
What?
Yeah, I said it. Meant to.
Oh man, you guys are heartless. Heartless.
Oh, Sandy?
All right, what do we got left? We got 4 left here. We've got
Charlie Brown Christmas, Mickey's Christmas Carol, Frosty the Snowman, and the Grinch.
Okay.
I love rank them when we kill each other because this list is bullshit.
So Matt, what do you have for 4?
Frosty, which actually, this out of the ones we have left, I personally.
Sandy, what do you have for 4?
Frosty the Snowman should be exactly where it is.
And I still had the Grinch, so. But with that, Frosty the Snowman is at 4.
Okay, so now we are getting into deep dive territory.
Yeah.
All right, so we got the Grinch, we got Charlie Brown, we got Mickey, right?
Yep. I'm sticking with the Grinch.
I have the Christmas Carol. Oh, I'm sorry. I jumped the gun. I apologize.
It's all right. I was going to go to you anyway because I saw you putting your phone up. What was it? Mickey's Christmas Carol?
Mickey's a Christmas Carol.
Sandy, what do you have?
It hurts me to do it, but the Grinch.
I don't care anymore at this point. Doesn't matter. I was broken at number 12. Per usual, actually, for Rankum.
But, I mean, we've definitely
got... Harrison Ford, I think I was fine with that one.
I mean, we've got 2 really...
We got 2 really good ones.
Yep.
One that I've seen, one that I haven't seen. So.
Oh, my...
Brutal. All right, so we're voting for number 1 now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
What the hell? I really want to know. Make Malcolm go. What the hell?
Oh, you'll see it in a minute when you see my really weird spelling of something.
Okay.
Matt, what do you want for number 1?
I have a Charlie Brown Christmas.
Sandy, what do you want for number 1?
A Charlie Brown Christmas.
I mean, it doesn't matter, but because
Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
with my very strange.
So that means number 1. Nice. That worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Malcolm, I'm surprised that you and me both didn't nominate and select, even though it didn't air yet, the Timeless series finale. Since it takes place on Christmas, it can technically count as a Christmas special. Surprised never one of us brought that up.
Well, at least with all 3 of us has secretly seen it in advance.
We saw the promo. That's enough, I think. This list is gonna hurt to hear.
But anyway, our top 12 Christmas TV specials are at number 12, we've got The Office Secret Santa. At number 11, we've got Merry Christmas, Mr. Bean. At 10, we've got Seinfeld, The Strike. At 9, we've got The Flash, Run to a Standstill. At 8, we've got Smallville and Lexmas. At 7, we've got Growing Pains, A Christmas Story. At 6, we've got Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. At 5, we've got Santa Claus Coming to Town. At 4, we've got Frosty the Snowman. At 3, we've got How the Grinch Stole Christmas. At 2, we've got Mickey's Christmas Carol. And at number 1, we've got Charlie Brown Christmas.
And Star Drew would like you to know, Malcolm, that you need to watch the Charlie Brown Christmas special.
No, we'll try not force him to. Don't worry, Star Drew.
Well, I do plan on watching it. It was the only one it's the only of the Peanuts ones that I do not know how it managed to slip past my radar and just never got around to seeing it, because I have seen all the others. So it's the only one that I do not know how I managed to miss it.
You saw the Thanksgiving one. You didn't see the Christmas one? You're in a country that you don't even celebrate Thanksgiving.
Hey, but
don't
I still watched it. But,
it's a very special though.
But anyway, it brings us to the end of the list. Matt, where can people find you online?
This was a really fun episode. Despite you guys know me, I just like to have fun on here. It's a ranked list. I'm gonna be okay that my favorites didn't get higher, or will I? No. This is a lot of fun as always. You guys can find me at Curtis_Matthew on Twitter, MattMovies611 on YouTube, and right here as co-host of Rhyme and Reason with Mr. Sandy Robinson. The last episode, 2018, just went up yesterday. It is all about Superman. So if you like that little snippet of Sandy talking about the Smallville Christmas episode, we didn't even intend to. We just had a huge discussion about Smallville, which was a ton of fun. And I repeat Erica Delancey's name several times in that episode for obviously good reasons. But it's a great episode, and you guys can also find me as the host of Second Look, which will be returning along with Rhyme and Reason in February. So yeah, and you can also find me. I think I'm on next week's Rankum if it's the episode I think it is. So.
Well, I mean, it's the week of Christmas, so.
Well, I don't work.
But anyway, Sandy, where can people find you online?
So, you know what? Every show that I've been on leading up to Christmas and the end of our fiscal or our year here on Take 3 and Full Metal and all the places that you can find me, I've been not plugging anything except that I want to say to everybody out there, thank you so much for being part of our lives, guys. We couldn't do any of this without you guys watching, liking, commenting, following us, messaging us, playing with us, doing all those things. So from the bottom of my heart, and I know from the bottom of Malcolm and Matt's hearts too, thank you so much for being fans of what we do here. We love you guys so much. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year from me to you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I mean, it's definitely great having all the fans and seeing all the messages from all of you. Also, you can find me on Take 3 Productions, where I host Rankum. Next week is going to be Christmas movie characters, which is probably going to be a lot of fun and definitely going to be interesting to see what comes up. You can also find me next year competing in Full Metal and Multiplex. Me and Sandy have got a TV match coming up at some stage of Multiplex, so that's going to be fun. And you can also find me on Twitter, Letterboxd and Stardust at Melkor.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I was going to get there, but like me and Sandy, our match will be this year. We'll team up next year and we'll be able to plug our matches then. But but also I'm going to finish off by saying, but make sure you subscribe to the Schmodown Patreon. There's going to be a lot, especially if you want to vote in the awards. There's going to be a lot of things happening next year for Patreon, so sign up.
Who
and
knows?
You don't want to miss a thing.
Maybe Take 3 might even start a Patreon next year. Who knows?
But anyway, until next week, we'll see you when we rank them.
Bah.